Well, those are the Wasatch Mountains, and if you've never been to Logan, Utah, shame on you, because this is one of the most spectacular, picturesque campuses that I've come across in quite some time here on a whiteout Saturday, and a dandy of a football game, 7-7 as we begin the second quarter. Henderson is deep for Utah State. Awaiting the punt. He's going to call for a fair catch, and so Utah State will set up shop at about the 13-yard line. They've been playing football here since 1892 when the Agriculturists defeated the University of Utah 12-0, and they've had high expectations for a long time, Eric Crouch, as Chucky Keaton trots his offense back out here.
Yeah, and he still hasn't quite gotten that rhythm yet. You know, it's a few things here, a few things there. The interception still, I think he's got the ability to set that aside, but I think they need to call the correct plays for him to get him feeling good. Move that pocket, let him take some shots downfield. He throws a nice deep ball to the outside. That's one of his specialties.
Man in motion, but they'll go up the middle. Trying to break it free that time was running back Rashad Hall. And he's out close to a first down before being taken down by Ryan Jambier.
Yeah, the lineman just creating a really nice hole right here, and he just took one step and went with it. Had a missed tackle on the outside there. Nice pickup there for first down.
You got the idea meeting with the coaches last night that they're not all that enamored with their running game to this point.
Yeah, they're going to let a few guys touch the ball in the running game.
JoJo Natson going for yards.
You let the receivers touch it.
Yeah. On the end around, and that'll get a first down and bring the ball out towards the 30-yard line. And it's another run game. You figure if they could get their run game going, along with a healthy Chucky Keaton, they're going to be in pretty good shape. Rushing offense last year 7th in the Mountain West for the Utah State Aggies. Ball on the 31, 1st and 10. Keaton rolling out, loses his footing, trying to get back up before he is taken down on the play by Josh Banks. And Banks was the one that made the big play on the interception for the touchdown back in the first quarter.
Well, they're trying to roll the pocket, but the coverage from Wake Forest is just pretty good on the outside. The timing isn't there for him. His receivers aren't where they're supposed to be, and that hurts the quarterback. That hurts the timing. That hurts his trust with his receivers.
2nd and 14 for the Aggies here as they go 4 wide. Story of the game has been the interior of the Demon Deacons. This one's batted away. Getting his arms on that one was Brandon Chubb. We've called his number quite a bit here in the first 15, 16 minutes of this ball game.
Number 48, Brandon Chubb.
See Chubb just come from the outside here as he comes out and bats that ball away. Not getting much help. One of the things that Chucky could have done right there is just slide step it to the side and try to deliver that ball. You know that defender is going to come up and try to bat that ball down. Slide step it and throw to the outside.
3rd and 14 for Utah State. So far, neither of the offenses exactly clicking here as Chucky Keaton will find a receiver over the top. It's Hunter Sharp. Sharp breaks it to the outside, and he picks up the first down as he brings the ball out towards midfield. Taken out by Jalen Ladder.
Nice job by Chucky Keaton sitting in the pocket. Going full field reads. No, he didn't have what he wanted downfield. He was looking downfield first and then comes down to the crosser. And then gets a really nice block on the outside by number 20, Rashad Hall. You'll see he was looking downfield first. Nice throw, nice catch. Gives his offense time to get back here and keep this drive alive.
Made him 19 on the play and a handoff here as they try to go up the middle to Rashad Hall, but he goes nowhere, taken down by Josh Banks. Well, that's one of the stories. We've been talking a lot about the defense, but I'm really impressed with the interior, that front interior of the Wake Forest defense. They've been excellent here in the first half in Logan.
They certainly have. The altitude hasn't affected them all. The being on the road hasn't affected them. They're being physical at the point of contact, and they're getting in the backfield.
2nd and 11 here for Chucky Keaton. In the flat, he has a receiver caught that time by Ronald Butler. And it looks like maybe a flag, a late hit. No, we don't see any flag here. Actually, we do. Excuse me. There's one on the turf. Let's see what we get here. Might have been a late hit. Brandon Chubb maybe a little bit out of bounds on the hit.
Maybe they're looking at that matchup out there. Damon Patterson, maybe got hands to the face.
This is going the other way against Utah State.
15-yard penalty, second down.
Called him for pass interference. They're getting too physical.
Damon Patterson did look like a hit out of bounds because. Yeah, there's the block, top of your screen. Number 84, Damon Patterson, the freshman out of Orlando, Florida, with the penalty. So 2nd and 26, Chucky Keaton looking over the top. He'll get some of it back here in the form of JoJo Natson, but he can't break free, but he does get the ball back to the 40-yard line. Boy, Brandon Chubb has been all over the ball here in the first half today.
He sure has, and so is JoJo Natson. They've used him on misdirection. They've used him to catch the ball on the outside. They've used him out of the backfield to catch the football, and seems like right now he's the target.
3rd and 18. 3 wide for the Aggies. Fake the handoff. Keaton back to the midfield area that time. Hook it up with Hunter Sharp out of Palmdale, California, but that's going to be well short. And that'll bring up a punting situation for the Aggies. Jalen Latter with a hit.
Accuracy for the Indians.
So the punting unit out right now for Utah State. And Jared Crump deep here for Wake Forest. He's going to let this one go and into the end zone. Well, while we have an opportunity, you know, this is not really a rivalry between these two schools, but Chuck Mills is one guy, Eric, that has been on both sides. He was the head coach here at Utah State back in the late 60s and early 70s, and then he went over to the Wake Forest side. So he's seen both sides, and just moments ago, earlier today, he was honored here in the end zone. Let's go downstairs to Cassie Gallo, who has him standing by.
Guys, I'm here with the man of the night, former head coach of both schools, Chuck Mills. They put on a very special reunion for you. 40 of your former players here today. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's a big kick. I mean, you've known them for years, and it's a special pleasure to see guys from 2 different schools and get together and they're like one. So it's wonderful. I appreciate it and enjoy them. I've always loved the players I've coached, and it just comes with today was great. Today's great.
And what was it like coaching at both schools?
Well, there are 2 different kinds of schools, both challenging. Wake was a tough school in terms of academics. There wasn't any easy way there. Utah State was sort of out of the way at that time and up in the mountains, but they had great kids. They're loyal to both schools. They've done well in their professional lives, so I've been very fortunate to be with a bunch of really good guys.
And you just told me you've been coaching for 50-something years. What advice would you give to these 2 coaches out here today?
I don't know anything about it. Don't take my advice. And, I've been fired for losing, so all my advice isn't good, but just as a good game and a good day for it. And I just hope they have success. I can't go for a winner.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
All right, great stuff, Cassie. And yeah, you can't lose today, right, here in Logan, Utah.
Well, I think we know who he's going for with that blue shirt he's wearing.
Yeah.
Subliminal messages here.
Meanwhile, 3rd and 10 for Wake Forest as they try to get their offense going. Blitz coming. Wolford out of the pocket, looking for an open receiver. They had a guy, but that one deflected and incomplete, out of bounds to bring up a punting situation here. Well, the wideout loving it here in Logan. On Merlin Olsen Field here at Romney Stadium. JoJo Natson will be back for Utah State to receive the punt.
One of the things when you have a young quarterback, just picking up the blitz, understanding that it's coming, that's one of the things that if they're showing a lot of different looks, that he's not going to be able to pick those up. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket. The receivers may not be on the same page as far as running their hot routes and being able to connect when you see a blitz to go to the open part of the field.
Alex Kimmel on the punt. JoJo Nanson's going to wave for the fair catch. And so Utah State and Chucky Keaton will be back on the field when we return to Logan here on the CBS Sports Network.
Brent Stover in New York, SEC over on CBS. What a game. South Carolina's Brandon Wilds, 24-yard touchdown run. And the Gamecocks lead the Bulldogs by 10, but Georgia has it first and goal at the 5 of South Carolina. Back out to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Brent. Boy, that Georgia-South Carolina game delayed due to weather. You wonder, boy, that always seems to be a trap game for the Bulldogs. They have problems all the time in Columbia. We'll see how that one finishes out. Here we've got a great game with Eric Crouch and Cassie Gallo. I'm Matt McConnell on the Front Range of the Wasatch Mountains here in Logan, Utah. And the defense is the story here, Eric, in the first half, accounting for all 14 points.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, the offenses just haven't been able to get in rhythm. They haven't been able to get in a tempo, in and out of the huddle, calling plays. If they don't huddle, just getting up to the line. Not seeing it here today.
Keaton rolls out, and he's got a receiver, Hunter Sharp, and that goes for 9 yards. They'll take that all day long. And that'll bring the ball out to the 42. Ryan Johnbian with the tackle.
That was a nice job there by Chucky Keaton, just coming to the outside, being patient. His receivers finding the opening holes in the zone coverage.
Keaton has utilized that pass in the flat quite a bit here in the first half. This time a handoff to JoJo Natson trying to break it around the corner. He's got the first down. That'll move the change as the ball now out to the 45-yard line. They've done a lot of end arounds. He's rolled out quite a bit. I think they're trying to get away from that interior of Wake Forest's defense. Yeah, and you just see the speed of JoJo Natson and how he can get to the edge. Really outflanked 2 defenders there from Wake Forest and just use his speed to get up the sideline. First and 10 at the 45. Chucky Keaton right now 11 for 18. 1 yard shy of 100 on the day. Handoff here to Hunter Sharp around the corner. And he goes for a couple of yards. What are they seeing on that play? Why so many end arounds, Eric?
Well, I just think that they're trying to take the defensive front out of the game. You know, the defensive front has caused them problems so far in this first quarter and into this second quarter. And when the defensive line is more physical, we'll take them out of the game. We'll get to the edge, try to play an edge game, get on the boundary and try to, you know, make a one-on-one game and make someone miss and take advantage of that. That's what I think they're doing now. 2 wide for Utah State, a man in motion. Single coverage defensively for Wake Forest. Keaton over the top, and he's got his big tight end, Wyatt Houston, a sophomore, and Oregon native. Here's the rhythm that you're talking about right now. Chucky Keaton, right here, he sees his tight end. He sees him right out here. He does a great job, Watson, just finding the hole. He knew he had zone coverage. He turned around, didn't cut it out, didn't cut down the field. Turned around, sat in the hole. Good rhythm by the quarterback and the tight end. Goes for an 8-yard gain and another Utah State first down. Handoff here on the end around. And a pass down the field, and JoJo Natson. Touchdown, Aggies. 44-yard. Trick play, and it's got the Aggies in front. Nobody thought that one was coming. Tell you what, the eyes of the defenders looking in the backfield, saw the action. Bit on the reverse. And Ronald Butler, the wide receiver, with a big toss. Beautiful spiral. Might have been the best throw of the day. You're trying to wonder, maybe he played high school quarterback. I would not doubt that. It's a really nice ball on the run, too. Extra point on the way. That goes off the upright and no good.
Good news, bad news for the Aggies. They'll certainly be happy taking the lead. Trick plays, they can work. And the Aggies cash in. They lead it by 6.
Brent Stover in New York on 3rd and goal. Quavon Hicks punches it in for Georgia. They trail South Carolina 38-35 mid-4th. Back to Matt, Eric, and Cassie.
All right, thanks, Brent. Tight one in Columbia. Good one here in Logan, Utah as well. And just moments ago, a trick play cashes in.
Right here, JoJo Nats, and you'll see him in the slot. He comes up here, and he wants this touchdown. He's going to sell this fake. And you know, if you're going to run a trick play, you better sell it good if you're going to score a touchdown. He does just that. He settles down. The eyes of Hunter Williams go to the backfield, and then Hunter Sharp lacing him with a perfect pass. Kind of an interesting spiral on that ball.
You were talking about Ronald Butler. Yeah, he was a quarterback in high school. You were wondering about that. 1,284 yards, 16 touchdowns. As a senior, the numbers on the scoring drive, 5 plays in 1:53. Ronald Butler catching that 44-yarder.
Yeah, your receivers typically don't throw a Joe Montana type spiral down the sideline. That's not normal.
So the kickoff, and this one into the end zone. And Wake Forest will take a knee, and so they'll bring the ball out to start their offense. A little bit of a different situation right now. The offensive coordinator, Kevin McGiven, dialing up a play to get or Utah State's offense going. Now we'll see what happens on the other side with Wake Forest. What does Warren Ruggiero have going? Because Wake Forest's offense has sputtered this entire first half. Maybe they can get rolled.
Yeah, they certainly have. They haven't put any points on the board yet. That 7 came from the interception, and you know, they just have to get in a rhythm. To me, the offensive line right now, they don't have a running game. Stay in the shotgun, throw the spread games, throw the quicks, take those blitz packages out of the game and make the playmakers on the outside be your guys.
Handoff for a rare carry by Orville Reynolds, the senior out of Coral Springs, Florida. He's taken down by Torrey Green, and that lost a yard on the play. A very conservative decision for Wake here coming out after the Utah State touchdown.
Yeah, right there you see the minus 15 yards right here. It just sticks out like a sore thumb on the screen. And I'll tell you what, you got a guy like John Wolford back there at quarterback who's got a gun for an arm. Let him get warmed up. Let him get that gun loose.
Flushed out of the pocket. He's got a man over the top. Wide open that time was Jared Crump, but he can only get one hand on it. And so another 3rd and long for the Demon Deacons. You're starting to slowly, I think, Eric, see the shift on here in terms of momentum. Todd Orlando's defense starting to ratchet it up a little bit, bringing a little more heat here against this young Wake Forest squad.
Right, you said it, the young squad. I mean, Jared Crump, he's a sophomore, and when the play broke down right there, the timing was off, and I think he felt like there was a backside safety that was going to blow him up, so he really didn't give great effort for that football.
Wolford looking up the field. He's got a receiver in James, and he comes down with the ball. What a catch that time. Matt James, the redshirt senior. And a huge gain here for the Demon Deacons before he's taken down by Daniel Gray. Oh, that'll change things.
Exactly. Well, that's the one-on-one matchups they're needing to win right here. Going up to the high point, catching that football. You know, the only thing I can say, James, right there, go up with your hands. Don't let that ball hit you in the chest. See, go up there and grab it. Don't let it hit you right on your numbers.
36-yard reception for James, who goes 6'5", 220. A senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. There's that length and size we were talking about. There's this play to the interior. Jordan Garside with his first carry this afternoon and this evening, and might have picked up a half yard, and that's it.
After that deep ball, one of the things that I just saw here was that a little bit more respect from the corners, playing not so close. They backed off about 3 or 4 yards, which now might open up those quick hitches, quick slants, the quick passing game that they have.
2nd and 10, ball at the 40 of Utah State.
Well, they are manned up down here. They're tight on this play.
And flags fly. And this one will go against Wake Forest. Antonio Ford might have been the one who jumped.
False start. Number 59 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, they got Antonio Ford, a redshirt senior from Pahokee, Florida.
I see it right here. He just flinched just enough. Arms came out.
And he knew it. Not happy as he looks down to the ground, so that'll bring up 2nd and 15. Wolford feeling heat. That got deflected. Getting a piece of that one was Nick Vigil, but they're saying it's a live ball. And back the other way into the end zone. Touchdown. Devin Centers brought it back. Wait a second here.
Well, I gotta think they're definitely going to review this play. It looked like to me his arm might have been coming forward.
Let's take another look here.
See the pressure from the outside, and I got a feeling this one might be coming back.
It looked like his arm was moving forward. And you're taught to continue the play before you hear the whistle. It would be a 53-yard return.
Play is under further review.
And the play is under review.
Here they're bringing 2 guys from the outside. Really both come unblocked. Tried to get over there, number 85 Cam Serenier. He just couldn't get over there in time, and if he would have got there just a little bit earlier, maybe would have protected his quarterback better.
It looked to me like his arm was moving forward. Another look here.
Well, you see how fast, within about a second and a half, you have Nick Vigil in the backfield. And
the other question too, was the ball coming out of his hand as he was making the motion forward. Important to tell you too that the call on the field was a fumble, so they will need enough evidence to overturn. Another big turning point in this game. Kevin Clausen wanting an explanation. Boy, did he do a great job. He came over from Bowling Green, did a great job of the Falcons turning that program around. He was hoping this is ruled a forward pass. Was it coming loose before he brought it forward? I think that's the key here, Eric.
Well, to me, it is. His arm was in motion. I think they ought to overturn this.
Here we go.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Touchdown. So the play stands. It was ruled a fumble. The call stands. And another defensive touchdown in this ball game with 6:34 to go in the first half. What a turn of events for Utah State.
You missed it.
So the extra point is on its way, and this one is blocked. So 2 extra point attempts go awry. I'll tell you what, nothing will get a defensive coordinator like Todd Orlando more excited than a return for a touchdown. Defense ruling the day here in Logan. Welcome back, Utah State. Their defense coming through. Wake Forest getting their points off of their defense in a 19-7 ball game right now in Logan. In fact, in this game, Eric Crouch, 20 of the 26 points scored coming off turnovers. As we take another look at that, a fluky play that was ruled a fumble.
Right, you just credit the speed right there of Nick Vigil getting to the outside and just sticking with the play. Didn't hear a whistle, and then Devin Centers picks up the ball, runs it into the end zone. Gets a little slap on the head right there from Nick Vigil. Says, good job staying with it.
Don't forget Larry Centers, you saw there briefly. Good bloodlines for Devin Centers, his father in the NFL. 47-yard fumble return, and so once again the Demon Deacons will receive the kick. that ball into the end zone. They will not come out. Let's go downstairs. Cassie Gallen.
Yeah, guys, as you mentioned, Devin Sinners can thank his family genes for that natural talent you're seeing out there today. His dad, Larry Sinners, played 14 years in the NFL and was one of the best pass-catching running backs in history. He still holds the NFL career records in several things. Devin's got big-time football in his blood, and it shows. He can play every position in the secondary. Aggie veterans say they treat him like a veteran because he's locked into the system so well. He's just one of those younger guys who really stood out. And guys, he wears number 37 just like his dad.
I got to be just like father like son, right? As a pass caught in the flat by Jared Crumpet. And that's something here at Utah State as you get a look there at Devin Sinners from a suburban Phoenix. You know, with all the turnover, especially on defense, you know, the goal of head coach Matt Wells is just for the guys that are coming in to lead the veterans. And he talked a lot about that in our meetings yesterday here in Logan. As Wolford back to pass, and we get a whistle here. And flags go flying. But it's quite the culture.
Number 59 offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
False start, but quite the culture created here over the years of Utah State.
Right. I mean, when you're winning, you're having fun. And I think that's what he's hinting to, is that, you know, we can go out and enjoy this game, you know, have fun, play hard, play physical, play fast. I mean, the things that they did this week in practice, just alone, trying to simulate more game-type situations, one going versus one's going versus twos. Instead of going against scout team, they're getting more quality reps. And I think that's starting to show here defensively.
Wolford in the pocket. He's got a wide-open receiver, but he underthrew him. That ball intended for Cam Serenier. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long. But getting back to Matt Wells and that whole thing about the winning culture, he used the story last week. They gave up a couple of late touchdowns to Idaho State. The second stringers were in there, and the first stringers are watching from the sidelines, and they're like, are you kidding me? We just went out there and shut them out, and we let you get in, and now you're going to just kind of roll over. They were upset, and that's what we're talking about here with this culture at Utah State. Wolford now trying to go deep. That one's picked off, and it'll be brought back. Frankie Cetera, and he'll bring it all the way back to the 25-yard line of Wake Forest. So the young quarterback Wolford is having a rough second quarter here in Logan. 25-yard return on the interception.
They're digging themselves a hole, and I think the #1 rule as a quarterback, if you're late, see the timing of this play, he has to flush the pocket just a little bit to the left. You never throw a ball late down the middle of the field. You lose vision, and this is exactly what happens. You get picked off.
So another opportunity for the Utah State offense as Chucky Keaton comes out.
Those are some growing pains. Would you like him to see him throw the football away in that situation?
Lawan Hunt now in the backfield. And Keaton now looking to go long. He's going to tuck it and try to go, and he gets hit pretty hard for a gain of about 2 as he brings that ball just inside the 25-yard line, taken down by Zach Allen.
Well, I thought he had pretty good opportunity to throw this ball on time. Looks like he just sat in there a little bit too long and tried to make the best of the play, but initially drop back, the timing of the route, got to get rid of it when your receivers are making their breaks.
We get a timeout, injured Wake Forest player down on the field. We'll check it when we come back in a 19-7 Utah State lead. Well, welcome back. Don't forget, coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, Brent Stover, Houston Nutt, and Christian Fourier are back in New York. They'll update games from across the nation. We'll also have our first half highlights and stats here. They'll also have an update from Columbia. Big game between Georgia and South Carolina. So 2nd and 8. Ball at the 24 of Wake Forest. And Chucky Keaton and the Aggies with a chance to break this one open a little bit here late in the second quarter. Keaton has a man in the flat. Hunter Sharp trying to break it to the outside, and he's out at about the 8-yard line. Well, they are working the corners, and that speed paying off for Utah State. And it looks like Allen's going to be fine, so he's back into the ball game. So that's good news for Wake Forest.
You saw a little excitement right there out of Chucky Keaton after that completion, but that's what he brings to the table. He's got a strong arm. He throws it across the field. Big play. The ball got there fast. Let his receivers make plays.
First and goal at the 6. Keaton's got a man into the corner. And a touchdown, Jefferson Court. And the Aggies score again, and they're starting to break it open here in Logan.
Well, they had a chance to mix it up a little bit. Get the ball to the outside. Zone read action from the quarterback, taking shots downfield. Play action pass. Number 33 right there, Jefferson Court.
3 plays, 26 yards in 53 seconds. 2 extra points already missed today by Utah State. We'll see if they can notch point number 26 on the afternoon and evening, as this one is right down the middle. $19-point lead here late in the first half for the Aggies of Utah State. And you just got a feeling, Eric, that maybe Chucky Keaton's starting to roll.
Yeah, he's starting to feel. Here's right there is number 33, Jefferson Court. You'll see him just sneak right behind the lineman. No one really covers him until it's too late. Allen's in the face, but a great throw by Chucky Keaton. Nice catch, too, by Jefferson Court. Right there, excitement. The last 2 plays, he knew they had to get something going offensively. He's not going to let the defense be the only one scoring touchdowns today.
Did a little Cam Newton there, it looked like. Chucky Keaton's numbers this afternoon, 15 of 22 for 134 yards. He did have that early interception, but it's been a different Utah State offense since then.
That certainly has. That confidence just coming back from an injury last year. You have some new receivers, new line. Just got to start trusting guys. These are the things that during the game you like to see. What kind of plays are going to work for our offense? Who are going to be the guys that step up as playmakers? And they know how important that tight end position is. Wyatt Houston's already caught some passes. Jefferson Court now with a touchdown. We'll expect that to be a very big part of their game coming the second half.
Deep to receive for the Demon Deacons is Henderson. And he'll bring this one out, bobbled it a little bit, but he gets the ball back out to about the 21-yard line. And so Wake Forest's offense back out on the field. Don't forget, tomorrow the NFL on CBS hits doubleheader action. First, the Patriots look for a bounce back against the Vikings, while the Falcons face off with the Bengals. Then the Chiefs challenge the Broncos. Check local listings beginning with JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. And so this is just the start of a great weekend of not only college football, but also the NFL tomorrow on CBS. There are the numbers. Chucky Keaton getting going, and the freshman John Wolford struggling a bit after having some success in the first quarter.
Wolford changing the play right now. Saw the inside blitz coming.
Wolford hands it off. Isaiah Robinson, the freshman, nowhere to go. That'll be a loss of 2.5, 3 yards, taken down by Filiaga.
Well, you know, Matt, I'm a little surprised that that's a check. You know, you see the inside linebackers coming into the line. You'd think that maybe they want to get the ball to the outside, maybe an option play or a pitch or a toss or something, instead of an inside handoff right where the blitz is coming.
Is that a young quarterback's lack of experience?
It could be. Maybe he's not making the right check. And we talked with their coaches, and they like that run play that just, you know, it's a sweep run and you take a lane if you got it, but really you don't want to be running it right into the blitz.
Robinson, the ball carrier, he'll go nowhere. So far today, Wake Forest has tried 4 different ball carriers. They've rushed it up 12 times for a total of minus 26 yards.
But they're really struggling to get anything in the running game whatsoever. They like their receivers. They like their quarterback. Take some more shots down the field. The first time they did it, they threw that ball to Matt James and had success with it.
Neither team lighting it up in the run game. Handoff here. And again, up the middle is Isaiah Robinson, and the freshman gets back to the original line of scrimmage, which will bring out of the punting unit for Dave Clawson's Demon Deacons. Nick Vigil again on the stop for the Aggies.
Well, you gotta sit here and think if they have the confidence they want in this offense, and obviously they don't. If they're going to run it on third down and not even attempt to throw the football downfield to get a first down and keep a drive going, just pretty much conceding and saying, hey, we're going to punt the football.
Good look at JoJo Natson deep to receive this punt from Wake Forest. Alex Kinnell, the punter for the Demon Deacons. He gets this one away, and JoJo Natson's going to try to bring it back. Natson up the middle. He's going to break it to the outside. Can he get around the defender? Natson steps out of bounds right at about the 46-yard line. Blazing speed. JoJo tried to be go-go that time on a nice return. Well, while we have a second, we were talking a lot about how Wake Forest would be okay on this at altitude, and other storylines from around the world of college football. Oregon, another big day. They dismantled Michigan State a week ago. Georgia, South Carolina. Don't forget the boys in New York are going to get you updated on all these games, and that Georgia, South Carolina, a tight one. Ohio State finally gets going, and how about Virginia Tech? Dropping one at home. East Carolina seems to do that often.
Yeah, they sure do. You got to sit there and think Mariota not affected by the altitude whatsoever.
Pass to the middle and back through the middle part of the field. That time was Wicker that time.
Well, they're going fast now. They're getting up to the line. They're feeling good, confident. They're getting in better tempo right now offensively.
9-yard gain on the play. Chucky Keaton. And he goes to the outside, finds Hunter Sharp again. Sharp has owned that corner of the field as he's pushed out of bounds by Brandon Chubb. Well, Keaton's really going now, and the numbers pretty much are proving it. 153 yards on the afternoon. Ball on the 35, and the Aggies looking to put it into the end zone late here in the first half. This one handled and caught inside by Damon Patterson that time from Orlando, Florida. That'll stop the clock with 1:52. Small gain there, and it'll bring up second and long.
But that's a veteran move right there. Didn't have what he wanted downfield. Came down to a second read, got the ball out, got a completion, and picked up some yards, and that's exactly what you want out of your senior quarterback.
Now the coaches for Utah State mentioning that last night in our meetings about the maturity of Chucky Keaton. He did have the one interception earlier, but as we mentioned, settling down here late in the first half.
He also picked up some good blocking by his offensive line.
Keaton will go to the right side, and again it's Hunter Sharp, and a flag on the play. Late hit out of bounds. So that'll tack on 15. Kevin Johnson's going to be the guilty party for Wake Forest.
One of the things that you want is to be able to trust yourself in your receiver. When you have young offensive line, you want to
be enforced half the distance to the goal, and it is first down.
You want to be able to trust that offensive line. Stand back there, be able to look downfield, not really eyeing the guys that are getting around blocks. That's not trusting your offensive line. So far here in the second quarter, Chucky Keaton's really been able to trust his offensive line, step into his throws, make accurate, good throws.
6th penalty for Dave Clawson's team for 58 yards on the afternoon. 1st and 10 by penalty. Keaton this time is going to go around the left side looking for room, but he got stopped that time, and a big hit defensively by Josh Banks. Limping a little bit is Chucky Keaton. Well, you wonder why you're going to run your prized quarterback outside with a big lead, right, Eric?
And this wasn't just a linebacker. This was Josh Banks, a defensive tackle, 260 pounds that hit him. Yeah, I'd be watching out right now, especially coming back from that knee injury. You don't want to put him in any situations that might get him hurt.
Handoff here, and they try to move it up the middle for little to no gain there. Daryl Garrettson is the backup. 6-1 last year as a true freshman, and you know, you get into redshirt situations too.
Well, we see Chucky Keaton kind of limping around on the field right now, and he did that a little bit against Tennessee in that first game, but it really didn't affect his play. I think it's more of something that, you know, he just needs to feel comfortable with. That knee, sometimes there's some scar tissue that breaks up. You got to start trusting it that it's okay. Maybe it wears off. You really hope that it wears off here in the next couple plays. You don't want to see him limping around.
Utah State.
Here's another look at the end around. Keaton that time getting hit by Josh Banks, and he was limping. They let the clock, by the way, run down. So 25 seconds left as they call timeout here. Oh, you know, you got to go back to the BYU game last year, Eric. The injury to Chucky Keaton, it was his plant foot. Similar play as he kind of brought it around that left side, and that plant foot crumpled underneath. Done for the year was Chucky Keaton. Huge loss for the Aggies, and as we mentioned earlier, you know, this is really shake off the rust period for Chucky Keaton, because he didn't really get back into playing action. As you look at the brace, he didn't get back into playing action, practice action, until early last month.
Right, and I think if you look at what's happened here, the limping around a little bit, he just still quite isn't trusting that his knee is 100%.
So Keaton will come back in, and it's 3rd and 10 for Utah State. Keaton's got a receiver on the left side. Knocked down was Ronald Butler. That'll bring up 4th down, so we'll see what head coach Matt Wells wants to do here. 4th and 6 at the 9. What would you do, Eric?
I think at this point in the game right here,
yeah, they're going to burn the clock.
You just might want to kick this. Get him on the sideline, talk to him, see how he's doing.
And that's what they did. They ran the clock down to 1 second, so they'll bring out the field goal unit.
30-second timeout.
A chance to increase.
I think he liked that too. It looked like he's moving around a little bit faster right now too. Hey, I got to go into halftime, take a little bit of a break. Coach, don't be calling those option plays anymore. That's not me.
How would you feel being a quarterback if you were in that situation?
Well, I ran the ball. That's right. I'll tell you what, that's what got me excited about the game. I'll be mad that they brought the kicker in.
3,434 yards in your career at Nebraska.
Oh, there must be a misprint.
By the way, big one, Nebraska.
That's way too many.
Right after us here on CBS Sports Network, Nebraska, Fresno State. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, sure will. Tommy Armstrong, another opportunity to go out there and prove that he's an improving younger quarterback. Got the first nod to start this year for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and another option quarterback.
26-yard attempt here for the Aggies from the left hash. And this one is on the way, and it is good, and that's going to do it here for the first half in Logan, Utah. Well, Wake Forest impressive early with their defense. Both teams are getting 20 points collectively off of miscues, and their defense sparkling both sides early in this one, but now 29-7 in favor of Utah State. Don't forget, Utah State will also receive the second half kickoff. Your thoughts so far, Eric, on this one?
Right. Well, I think Wake Forest has got to find some energy to come back out. And you know, they're kind of walking off the field right now. Their energy's down. Obviously, they're losing the football game, but it's a young team. They've got to go in the locker room and try to make the adjustments that are going to help them be successful in the second half, whether that's line play, whether that's the quarterback's decisions, whether that's defense getting back in form like they were in the first 2 series of this football game.
Let's go downstairs, Cassie Gallo.
Coach, turns out battle of the defense. What are you liking from them so far?
Well, the battle of the defense is it's a good point. We've been able to capitalize on turnovers, big opportunistic plays. We've caught the ball on the picks, and obviously the fumbles and that kind of stuff is obviously it's a team effort right now, but we got to go play a second half.
Offense seems to be rolling. Any concerns with Chucky limping around out there?
No, he's fine. He gets hit. Every quarterback in the country gets hit.
And I got to ask that trick play, JoJo Natson, was he a quarterback in high school?
Yeah, I don't know what he plays. He plays. They can't him up in a phone booth. Yeah, so you know he's a dynamic player with the ball in his hands. He needs to squeeze the football.
Great. Let you get in there, Coach.
All right, thanks, Cassie. A little go-go from JoJo there. End of the first half, 29-7, Utah State leading it. After the break, we'll send you to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for the Verizon Halftime Report here on CBS Sports Network.